water than air, but the air is most available. You see air here. But imagine now we have to buy food, we have to buy water, and at the moment we don't buy yet air.
We already buy in few places.
Imagine one day that you have to go and buy in shopping air for today. And then those who have the power say, you know, you don't listen to me, you don't obey my rules, so you are not getting air today. What it means, death for you. So may God guide us so that we appreciate what we have, that we enjoy what we have, and that we have clean air so that we can breathe. And God is merciful, He is beneficent, and He is taking care more than we deserve. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Grand Mufti. Before I move to the next question, I want to ask voluntarily any two male students and any two female students to take 5 to 10 minutes to think and come ahead and tell us in one line what is your dream. Grand Mufti said you try to think of dream. What's your dream, not just for yourself to get your MBA or whatever, but what's your dream for the society? Any two male students, any two female students, in about 10 minutes, you think for yourself. And you decide among yourself who want to come and answer this question. Where is Sachin? Sachin Itkar? He's gone. Sachin, just coordinate this. Two male students, two female students. Okay. So while I give you the time to think about your dream, let me come to our panel again. Asya, what's your dream?
I think there are too many people that I should speak about my dream, you know, so loudly. But my dream, you know, is that we learn how to listen to each other. People talk a lot about dialogue, but I don't see much dialogue happening. I see only monologue. People love to be listening to what they are saying, and they are not listening to the other. The other is extremely important because the world of tomorrow, if we want it to be a place of love and of happiness, has to be a world of a better living together across our differences, our diversities, and all the differences. And diversity is really a wealth. It's an asset. It is much, much more presented as a liability, but it's not. But we can only understand it if we learn how to listen. And this era is too hectic. The other very important thing we did not talk about, and the challenge is time. We have very little time on this earth, and our time is limited. So we should not spend it only talking. We know we really have to listen, and it is through listening that we can improve the dialogue, that we can improve the living together, and we find together answers to real challenges. No challenge can stay without answer if we take it all together and if we do it through real and genuine dialogue. But dialogue has to be built. It is not a given. We really have to work very hard to learn how to really dialogue and exchange and not only be listening to what we are saying. So that's why I would like to hear from you what you think of diversity and how you are learning to listen to the others and occasionally to their dreams as well, and try to contribute to make the common dreams a reality.
Lord Allardyce, what's your dream beyond what was said by Asya or anybody else?
One of the things that happens as you get older is that I think some of your attitudes change. And I have come to focus increasingly on my own family, my children and grandchildren, and what kind of world I want for them. what kind of attitudes I want them to be able to experience. And I suppose the dream that I have is that people will increasingly value relationships more than material things. It's not that material things aren't important. I want my children to have a comfortable life. I want them to have opportunities. But more than anything, I want them to have contented, fulfilling relationships with each other and with others. And my dream is that that valuing of relationships will not just be something for individuals, but that we will, as larger communities, value the relationships between each other and not be able to just dismiss each other as people or as peoples, but instead to value those relationships. That, Sundeep, is my dream.
Thank you, John. Where is Sachin? Are the students ready? Two
Sir.
students, male, two female, who is going to volunteer?
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah.
A
Yes.
student will definitely ask questions, but I'll start.
No,
Question
students
for-
first have to give answer, then after that question.
Okay. A question for Asiya ma'am. Basically, we are talking about offering good quality education at affordable cost for a country like India and many African countries. Today, quality education, can you hear me? No?
No. Can you turn around? Will be easier. Yeah.
Hello. Now? Asiya ma'am, question for you about offering quality education at affordable fees for all the strata of the society. Because education for all is a must if you want to really progress and bring peace and harmony in our country, as sir said, which is must. Instead of thinking on any other aspects, we should think about the peace and harmony at large. And I believe without education, it is not possible in today's world when so much of information is coming from different sources. So what is the solution? What sir told me I should answer the question first and then I should give the mic to my students. I feel the solution should be offering quality education through online mode. Maybe there are many good universities offering different programs across the globe. One can have a tie-up with different universities and student will decide which course is to be done, which subjects to be learned from which university. And for any student from India, a normal student, a common man, to go to different countries and study is very difficult because the course fees is more than 20,000 US dollar plus. And in India, average course fees is far lesser. So can online education be useful for completing their good quality education? They may or may not get a formal degree, but they will get the required knowledge which is essential to serve the industry and corporates and society at large. Do you have any suggestion or answer or any solution for the same?
Well, there is no recipe, actually. What we know for sure is that the methods of education are going to change basically, and that the school as we know it today is going to be altered totally differently. Collective answers are going to be given differently, and at the same time you can have sort of teaching à la carte, not a menu, but you can choose what you want, to teach. So that's why digitalization is absolutely essential. And that's our big, big challenge. And thank you for the question, because our problem, we in the third world and with less digital capacity, is that we will have to educate all the youth and to bring them into the digital world. But we will have as well to train over half of the adults, like some of us, even when we are intellectuals, who are digital illiterate. So to avoid what Mark Benioff has called the digital refugees, because tomorrow, if you do not have this capacity, you won't be able to find the decent jobs that you are looking for. So this is, I think, our challenge. We really have to move into the digital world, into artificial intelligence, to make sure that humanity is not going to be wiped out and chased and sidelined. So this is one of our, but I think there are already a lot of thinking here, and we have been discussing a lot this problem in Africa, and there are a lot of ways to think how you can bring education to the remote places, to the poorer strata, when you don't have a lot of means, because this is our common challenge. And the other challenge is, of course, the quality of what you are saying. And sorry to repeat myself, but I think it is the way you form the minds to learn them how to adapt and how to seek for what they want to find. Because information, we will have much
Thank you.
more
Asya,
data.
we are running out of
and
time.
very difficult.
You have a view on this. You are at Oxford University. Oxford, as you know, is not one of the best university in the whole world. I studied there. So
Information is enormously important. Knowledge is enormously important. Education is a privilege, an opportunity, and something that should be available to all. However, wisdom is more important and even harder to find. So when you are looking to how you use your knowledge, how you apply the information you have, how you conduct your life, you need not just knowledge and education, you need wisdom, and you will not find that everywhere. You will sometimes find it from someone wise and thoughtful in your university. You will sometimes find it in someone who has never been to university. Sometimes the impact that will be on you is from someone not wealthy but poor. And I can recall one particular piece of virtue and wisdom which was conveyed to me by a very old lady in a village in India when I was in my teens, your age. I was visiting in a country place between Ahmedabad and Delhi. I was talking about the difficulties in my part of the world, and an elderly lady with no money came to me, opened a little bag, and took out the 1 rupee note that she had. And she gave it to me and said, "That is because I want you to do what you can for the people in Ireland." I was moved and kept that 1 rupee note for many, many, many years. That old lady was not just generous and virtuous, she was also wise, because she knew that with that rupee note, she would gain the commitment of this young man in Ireland for many years. Look for knowledge, look for information, but search for wisdom and do not let it go.
we'll go to the students now. What's your name, what are you studying, and what's your dream?
Hello. Yeah. My question is to respected dignitaries on the dais.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
My question is to.
No question. What's your dream? I just want to know that.
Okay, I'll first tell my dream and then I'll point out to my question.
Yeah, okay. What's your dream?
My dream is sustainable. All the countries should have a sustainable growth, development, and all should have basic necessities such as food, shelter, water, and also a peace-loving relationship should be there. And main thing, what I feel, which is lacking in this world, because our world is getting smaller and smaller, is that we are trusting too much on machines. We are not trusting in humans. So that dependency should be reduced as much as we can. So
Thank you.
That was my dream. But my question directly is to the panel over here, that as we can see that the Indian population that is growing at a high rate of pace, that is 1.3 billion approximately, and we have a large number of youth, that is 60% of it is as approximately 500 million people. In this kind of challenging growth of population, automation is coming, various technologies are developing. We can also see China's property bubble, which is going to burst soon, what economists are predicting. I'm not sure it is what the baseline should be. So other countries, the interdependence of the economies over there, and all the countries which are facing some of the lags, the growth on the sectors are not that much of good. And also we can see some of the countries are not performing well, some of are binded by the political condition, geopolitical conditions, and some of them are not able to grow as much as due to the lack of resources or the manpower or the skill set of it. So what do you think, what would the appropriate solution for such kind of problems in the world so that we can achieve a greater sustainable world peace all over there, and also greater, you can say, all the development should be there. So what would be the solution for this?
Thank you. Well, it's not just India, it's everywhere. You have this whole question of sustainability, and Danilo, you talked about inequality. So why don't you suggest a way out? What are a couple of elements you think? You can take your seat.
Yeah, well, of course, I would say something in response to this question, but I would like also to refer to the previous discussion that related to the availability of information, the importance of education, and the importance of wisdom. And here I have a particular point to make. You see, there is a vision, which is much more than simply a vision. It's a prospect for internet to become available to all people on this planet. That's possible because the technological developments allow building of satellites, low orbit satellites that uncover the whole surface of Earth within 3 to 5 years with internet signal, which will be available to everybody practically cost-free. So that's one of the analytical conclusions from MIT, from Massachusetts Institute of Technology. It's a technologically well-informed idea. The question is, what does the world make with all this wealth of information? And that was addressed in conversation that we just had. I would like to point to one important aspect which has to be emphasized really very strongly, and that is the importance of the profession of teacher. Importance of teachers in this new